South Dakota picks up a big win Saturday over then number 13 North Dakota by a score of 20-13 here inside the Dakota Dome. And here to break that down with me is head coach Bob Nielson. And Bob, that game in a lot of ways was just a good old-fashioned Missouri Valley Football Conference game, wasn't it? That thing was physical.
Yeah, physical game, tight game. You know, like we talk about in the Valley, you know, you have to find ways to win close games. We weren't able to do that down at Missouri State, so I was really proud of the way our guys were able to finish and close that game out Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, you had to figure the run game was going to be a big part of this one just based on what these two teams were going to be trying to do coming in. And you knew exactly what you were facing in North Dakota's Otis. He got you pretty good last spring, 163 yards, a couple of touchdowns as well. And he didn't run it a ton in this game. I was actually a little surprised with the number of carries he ended up with. But when he did, there wasn't a whole lot of room for him to work with. And that's certainly a tremendous compliment to your front seven.
Our defense continues to play very well against the run. And, you know, the thing that we did Saturday is we rallied to the football really well, didn't give up any long runs, and made them work for every yard. And as a result, put them into a position where they had to throw the football more than they wanted to throw it.
As a matter of fact, Weah's long on the day was just 11 yards, average under 4 per carry, 15 for 58 on the afternoon for him. Meanwhile, you've got some bruising running backs of your own that you've been working with here this season, no question about that. And for the second straight week, one of those guys put together a career day. Last week it was Nate Thomas against Indiana State. This week, Travis Tice breaks out 23 carries, 138 yards.
Yeah, Travis really ran the ball well, a lot of yards after contact. You know, I think now we've had three different backs have 100-yard-plus games on the year, and it's nice to have that kind of depth. But Travis is back to full speed, and he showed that Saturday.
You mentioned the yards after contact. There was a lot of times he got hit in the backfield, and he just busted right through a tackle. I think over 100 of his yards, per Sports Information Director Brian Betcher, were after contact, and that is an impressive stat. And when you account for the fact that he ended up at 138.
Yeah, a lot of really hard runs. You know, a lot of 5-6 yard runs where he may have been contacted. At 2 or 3 yards and got another 3 or 4, and then there were obviously a couple of runs where by making the first tackler miss or breaking the first tackle, he was able to stretch those out to 11, 12, 13, 14-yard runs.
Third down was another huge key to this game. North Dakota came in holding opponents to 27% conversions on the season. You guys finished 8 of 14. That comes down to just straight up excellent execution, doesn't it?
Well, I think it was two things. We executed well on third downs, and the other thing that we did really well on Saturday is we kept ourselves in a lot of on-schedule third downs where we had the ability to either run the football or throw the football, and that's been a problem for us in the games that we lost as we got ourselves into more off-schedule situations, and we're so much better team when we can dictate what we want to do as opposed to having the defense dictate to us.
Meanwhile, North Dakota struggled to move the chains. They finished 2 for 11 on third down. You're going to take that every day and twice on Sunday, aren't you, as a football coach?
Oh, yeah, that's great defense. First of all, great third down defense, but if you flip that around, we put them in a situation where they were off schedule a lot in third down, and our defense did a really good job of capitalizing on that.
Special teams in this game, if there was one negative that jumped out, the punt block. UND got to one of them. They got a piece of another one. That's not a problem that we've seen really so far to this point for that unit. What broke down there?
Yeah, we had a couple of actually assignment breakdowns. We were playing some different people in that unit. We didn't do a very good job of executing. Coach Orich was really disappointed with that. After the game, we'll get that addressed without question. But give UND credit. They had a couple guys make plays there. We continue to make plays in the kicking game, but we've certainly got to be sounder in that area.
Yeah, there was one guy in special teams that came up awfully large for you, and Mason Lorber drills a 54-yard field goal, and not only did that tie a program record, but it made it a 2-score game. It really kind of put it away for you. But what a kick. I was surprised when I saw him trot out there for this. Mason's come a long way as a kicker, but that's a big ask. How confident were you in him and his ability to drill it like he did?
Well, if I hadn't been confident, I wouldn't have sent him in there. We talked early in the week. Mason's been kicking the ball really, really well in practice. And we knew points were going to be a premium in this game, where if we had a chance to take a longer field goal, we were going to be willing to do that. The situation arose. We picked up, an additional 3 or 4 yards on third down there and got us inside kind of that 55-yard range, which we knew Mason certainly has the leg to be able to execute. And he went out there and as soon as he hit it, I think everybody in the stadium knew it was good because it was right down the middle and plenty of distance.
A couple other individuals to bring up, or one specifically defensively that I think everybody was a little bit concerned about. Miles Harden goes down late in the game with an apparent leg injury. We know what kind of talent that guy possesses. Where is he at? What's it looking like for him?
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it's an injury that's going to have him out for a while. We're continuing to get that evaluated just to see the extent of what that will be. And, a guy that's been a significant player for us. It was good to see Daron McKinney healthy and his ability to step in and fill that role. We're very, very confident of as we move forward.
You mentioned the other guy I wanted to talk about, Daron McKinney, and he's struggled with injuries himself. Hamstrings have been plaguing him since all the way back to fall camp, and suddenly he gets out there for his first extended look, and it proves to be especially big, given the injury to Miles, but also going forward, knowing what kind of player he's going to be for. He has 11 tackles at the cornerback spot on Saturday to lead your defense.
Yeah, sometimes when your cornerbacks are making a lot of tackles, that's not necessarily a good thing. But he's a very good player. He really was healthy enough that he could have played 2 weeks ago. But we decided to hold him one more week to make sure that he wasn't at risk to re-injure that. And he stepped up and played well, and now he and Trey Jackson and Cam Tisdale and the rest of that position group will have to carry the load here in Miles' absence.
Well, with that win, Coyotes improved to 4-2, 2-1 in the Valley, starting to get a little bit more attention nationally now, into the poll this week at number 21. But as you said Saturday to Elena Lance, and after the game, once you start winning, the next ones just get that much bigger, right? And is that really how you feel about it?
Yeah, it's exactly right. We play an outstanding team this week in Northern Iowa, a team that's nationally ranked. One of the best teams in the country, in my opinion. And for us, we've got some momentum right now. We've got to capitalize on that. We've got a team that's playing well, that's playing confidently. I think that's the one thing that we showed Saturday, that we could play confidently at critical times in the game, and we're going to have to continue to do that as we go through the rest of the Valley schedule.